Good morning. We are in a few minutes early because I changed the time. And so I want to give the notification, the opportunity to pop up for some people. And so we're just going to start here for a few moments. When you arrive, if you have already arrived, if you will let me know you are here. I am attending the IC3 conference, and this was their natural break. And so it worked out perfectly. Sometimes we make adjustments when God said, I didn't tell you to do that. If you'd left that alone, we'd have been okay. Good. Thank you so much, Veronica. I'm glad you're here. And so we got to always listen and not just go on our own thinking, because sometimes our thinking precludes what God is trying to do. And God had it set up perfectly, and I changed it. So, trying to be proactive, and then did more than I needed to. So I see that there are others that are here. If you'll let me know, I see 4. I saw 5, and maybe they just decided they'd watch later and wanted to know what this was. And anyway, it's fine. It's great, because everyone who's supposed to be here on this day is on their way or already here. And so as we journey on this road to 522, which I'll explain as the weeks go by. Good morning, Ella, and why that is so important, that I just want us to start looking at and to be encouraged about some things that I have come to know over the course of a very short amount of time. Good morning, Reverend Allen. Over a very short amount of time, as it becomes clear to me how to move into this next season, and how important it is to move into this next season of my life with some real clarity about what has been in my life and what's supposed to be in front of me. And so I'm going to share that with you, and prayerfully, it's an encouragement to you as well. I know that my two ride or dies had a different time, so I'm hoping that they are able to shift to this timing. I'm not sure they have missed a broadcast without letting me know they had to miss it in probably 3 years. And so I want them to know how much they matter, and that is my joy and my sunshine, and they know why I call them that. And so I'm excited about today and about this journey, this road to 522, which gives us this week, which is prior to the beginning of the month. And then probably 4 sessions, 4 encouragements before 522. And 522 is a weekend, so the last one we will have prior to will be the week of. And I'm in school that week, so it's going to be interesting about this timeline. And all of that is all designed. And so as I find out about the timeline, I will let you know. But we may have evening editions during those 2 weeks, because that's just going to work out better for the fact that I have to be a virtual student in front of a computer all day. Okay, it is 10:46. We're going to get started. Good morning and welcome to another broadcast edition, however you want to define it, of Thriving Tuesday Moments of Encouragement, #VEncouraged. Today, we're going to talk about what it means to be unapologetically, authentically you. And then I'm going to leave you with a dare to be unapologetically, authentically you. One of the things that happens in our lives is that, as Parker Palmer says in his book, Let Your Life Speak, we start with this set of things that are us. And over the course of time, between no and don't do that, and that's not good for you, and you shouldn't be that, and we get all of these, this deluge of no. And no sets us up to say no internally. to check everything we are based on what other people think we should and should not do. And I'm not talking about a value system or right and wrong. I'm not talking about faith and whether you should have one or not. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the shaping of who you are, the shaping of what becomes important to you because of the external forces that keep telling you who you ought to be and what you ought to do and what it should look like for you. I just came to encourage you that it doesn't matter where you are on this spectrum. So those of you who are saying, I've been on this journey a long time, whatever it is. I'm saying to you, whatever time God has blessed you to have left, live it out unapologetically, authentically you, because there's no other you to be. And sometimes we put ourselves in these boxes and in these pockets because that's what's expected of us. And we look in the mirror and we don't know who we're looking at because we've failed to be who we are, trying to be what everyone else expects us to be. And yes, there are going to be times when you need to conform to certain situations because there is an obligation. I'm not saying because you don't feel like getting up, don't go to work. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in the course of your day, there's always going to be someone and something that tries to tell you to be something other than who you are. There's always going to be someone who tries to shape your life into something that makes sense for them. And when you go with them, when you move in that direction, then you cease to be you. And I'm encouraging us today to be unapologetically, authentically us. And that the only check you get is from your faith walk, from God, that God says to you, switch that, change that, don't do this, be this. But you got to be able to listen to God and you got to be aware of it. That's why I have Psalm 139, 23 and 24. And while it's not usually how we use it, as we are thinking about our faith walk, I want you to think about it as it relates to how we are authentically ourselves. It says, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and then lead me in the way everlasting. Now, yes, that's about forgiveness and asking for forgiveness. And yes, that's about having a contrite heart in that respect. But it also is about how God will search us and show us and show us the things about us that are authentically given to us for whatever season God has given it to us for whatever reasons God has given it to us for. And when we try to change it to fit the needs of the culture, when we try to shift it to fit the needs of someone else, we end up not being authentically whom God has called us to be, even in our lives, let alone in our faith walk. So my encouragement to you today, based on even what this scripture says, when it says lead me in the way everlasting, yes, that's a faith walk. That's lead me in your way and in your pathway. But in the pathway of God is us living this thing out authentically. And so if God is leading us in the way everlasting, what God may be leading us to is a way that we are living, that what we leave behind us shows authenticity. What we leave as our legacy is authentically who we are and who we were, so that no one else who's crossed our path has to keep trying to be someone they are not because it makes someone else comfortable. Be you. I dare you to be who you are. What makes you laugh, laugh at it. Don't determine that you can't be you because it might make someone else feel like, why is she laughing at that? Because it was funny to me. Why are you why do you use that cologne? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? People want to always challenge you on what it is you do, and they're not your they're not your God. Let God be your God, and let God through the Holy Spirit be your guide. And be authentically who you are. A lot of times we wait so long trying to make it fit someone's life. And I know somebody's on here who knows exactly what I'm talking about right now, that we keep trying to be everything we thought we wanted, we thought should have happened because that's what society told us, or that we don't do the things that we think that we should because society says you can't do that because of your color. You can't do that because of your education. You can't do that because of your body makeup. You can't do that because of this and because of that and because of this. But you know that that's who you are and that's what you have to offer. Walk in that thing. Don't let anyone stop you from walking in the greatness that God has called you to. Your greatness may not be great to anybody in the world, but if you're doing what God has purposed your life to do, and you're doing it with authenticity, and you're unapologetic about it, which means you walk with your head up and your shoulders squared because you know you're doing exactly what it is God has called you to do, it never matters that the world doesn't know. It only matters that God is using you, and whomever's life you are touching, it is making a difference in that life, in that season, for that moment. And that's all we can do, is to be authentic, to be unapologetic about our authenticity. And if people cannot handle who we are, then maybe they're not supposed to be in our space. And we got to be able to let some stuff go, and let some people go, and let some things go. Because if they hinder us from being unapologetically, authentically us, then they are not serving our lives. And I'm not talking about being, as I said yesterday when I posted something, I'm not talking about being self-absorbed. I'm talking about being self-aware and self-accepting. We've got to learn how to be aware of who we are, aware of the things that matter to us, aware of where we are going and what we are doing, and then accept who we are on this journey. You're not going to be anybody but you. I'm not going to be anyone but me. And if the sooner I come to grips with that, and I wish I'd come to grips with it some 40 years ago now, because it would have changed the way I approached my life. It may not have changed the things that happened. I pray that the calling that God has on my life would have come to fruition anyway, no matter what, but it wouldn't have taken me so long to walk in who I am. So I encourage you today. Don't waste another moment, another day, another time trying to fit into the box someone else has created for you, when what God has created you to walk in has been with you since day one. Walk in that and trust that wherever it is God is leading you, God is also keeping you. Grace is sufficient. Yes, grace is. And we're not going to always do everything right, but we're going to be, if we're authentic about it, if we're unapologetically authentic, and we know that God is leading us, God will fix it. And all will be well. Does it mean we're not going to have some bumps and some bruises? No. Does it mean we're not going to go on some roller coaster rides? No. We're going to do all of that because those things will shape who we are ultimately. Do not be apologetic for who you are. Walk in it. Stand on it. Do it with a smile, shoulders squared, head up. Make sure you're smiling, because the moment that anyone sees you questioning who you are, they are like vultures. They'll swoop in and put that place of doubt in you. No more doubting who you are. Walk in it. Be unapologetically, authentically you. I dare you. and be encouraged. I'll see you soon. Road to 522. Road to 522. In the meantime, even though we are leaving right now, I want you to know that if you look on the ticker underneath, if you look there on the ticker underneath, you will see the information here. But also, if you are interested in a book and you're interested in any donations, I'm asking you to be prayerful for me. And if you are wanting to get a book, please get it. I will autograph it, send it to you. And if you would just like to leave a donation for Be Encouraged Ministries, that's fine. If you don't, keep praying. That's the deposit I need the most. And so go forth, be unapologetically, authentically you. I dare you to try it. I dare you to take off the layers of everyone else and walk in the beauty, in the strength, in the power that is you. I dare you, and be encouraged.